Hey guys, welcome back. So we've got a breakdown here of a Raiju, Goryo, Oni, and Wraith. So I'll tell you that now it's not a Goryo. The reason is I seen the dots in person. So a Goryo, you can only see the dots through a video camera. I've seen them in person, so it's not a Goryo in this case. It took me a while to find the bone in this one. It was being super sneaky. I'm not sure where it is now because it took me a second to set up the recording. Yeah, the bone was sitting sort of just like across that, where it was kind of glitched through it a little bit. It took me ages to find it. So the way that we're going to test for the Wraith, Oni and Raiju is we always start with the Wraith test. So to do the Wraith test, we put down some salt. And the unique thing about a Wraith is it does not leave UV footprints in salt. So once it steps in salt and you hear the clunking of where it's walking, then it does not leave UV footprints. But don't be fooled by this, because some of the time it just doesn't leave footprints, and you don't hear any of the clunking. Any ghost can do that where it steps in the salt. You see it physically step in the salt, but you don't hear the clunking of the doot doot doot, so it might give the appearance that it's not got UV footprints, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to tell when there's loads of people running around and doing all different things. So we need it to step in the salt. You know, the minute that I go out to get the other salt, it'll step in one of them. I won't miss it. I like to use the glow stick for this. You can use any UV light, but the reason I use the glow stick is just because I don't need to run and chase it around, because the radius is, oh, here we go, UV footprints. So I don't need to run and chase it around, essentially. So we know it's not a Wraith. So now it's between a Raiju and an Oni. And the way that we test that is by ruling out a Raiju, or confirming a Raiju. So we need to get hunted, and then we'll hide and listen to how fast it's moving. So the Raiju, unlike any of the other ghosts, outside of a Hontu, a Raiju is the only ghost that is fast without line of sight. Which means that when you're hiding, it doesn't need to see a player, and it'll still be pretty fast. A Hontu, it's the same when it's cold, but it's not as distinguishable by its footsteps. A Raiju moves very fast, so you can hear it through its footsteps if it's a Raiju or not. That's the safest way to do it, instead of standing in front of it with a smudge stick. Usually I would recommend, whenever you're doing any of the hunt tests, is you might not need to use them, but bring a smudge stick, just in case something goes wrong and it sort of walks around to the foyer and hunts in front of you and traps you. So where are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? How old are you? How old are you? Where are you? So the other thing about a Raiju as well is if it's fixed, then it also messes with your electrical equipment over double the radius of the other ghosts. So I believe that, oh, here we go. To be honest with you, I've got a bit of a problem because of the recording software that I'm using. Because of the recording software that I'm using, I have to turn the game volume right the way down and it drowns out my voice. So what I'm going to have to do is turn the game volume up because I couldn't hear the footsteps. 2 seconds. So we're just waiting on a hunt again. The reason I throw my torch down is I just like to get an idea of when it starts blinking it, but I realised again, because I'm used to playing with the volume not turned down, that you get an intuitive feel for roughly how far it is away, depending on how loud it is. And then when you mess with your settings, obviously that intuition isn't there anymore. So when I know that it's sort of quite far away and it's still blinking my torch, that's also a good indication that it's a Raiju. But you have to watch for that because it doesn't mess with electrical equipment on different floors, so if it walks down to the basement you'll still hear it stomping around but not flashing your torch. So that's a Raiju. I hope you all heard that, where the feet was going. The reason of the inconsistent footsteps is because a Raiju is fast around electrical equipment. Not quite as fast as a Rev, but it's pretty fast. It's the second fastest ghost in the game when it's around electrical equipment, and let's be real, it's always around electrical equipment unless you know it's a Raiju and you specifically cleaned up after yourself. So you can hear it stomping around pretty quickly. Another thing about a Raiju, just since we know it's a Raiju now, is it hunts at 65% average sanity around electrical equipment as well, which is pretty high. I mean, that's almost demon level. Demons hunt at 70% sanity. So a Raiju, if you find the spirit room, it'll hunt at 65% sanity, which can be devastating on nightmare mode, but if nobody's expecting it and you're all in the ghost room, try to get evidences or testing, and then it hunts early and it moves that fast, it just clears everybody up. That's why it's a terrifying ghost to play against sometimes. Right, I hope this has helped you guys. We'll wrap this up. Selected Raiju. Got our pictures. I'm not doing the crucifix, I've not put them in, so. There we go, and we've got a Raiju. So that's how you test for a Raiju, guys. Good games.